Let's get it. Smash those likes. I'm Blockchain Crusader, Crusader 3's blockchains every single day, and we are back for a live stream today on September 15th, guys, Monday. Let's get hyped. Let's get ready. Today is the beginning of the Golden Rocket Week, baby. The Golden Rocket Week. Why do I say this? Well, because on the 17th, on Wednesday, within 2 days' time, in the next 48 hours, we are going to know what are the interest rate cuts for this year. We have been long awaiting this moment, and the final countdown for the next 48 hours is officially here. How large are these interest rate cuts going to happen? Does anybody believe at this point in time that there will be zero interest rate cuts, that they're just not going to have an interest rate cut at all? Because that would be mind blowing. I mean, if you're talking about Black Swan event, get ready for the next market dump. That would be a not having an interest rate cut and just completely left hook out of nowhere. Everybody's out cold for the count. I mean, at this point, almost everyone is guaranteeing some type of interest rate cut. Now, the next question becomes, how large will this interest rate cut be? Because that is really what is going to set the step here, the fuel for the market for this next big move is depending how large this interest rate cut is. Earlier today, saw a headline about 400 basis points. That is massive, guys. 400 basis points. I want you guys to understand, 1 basis point is 0.01. So basically, every 100 basis point is like a full 1%. So 400, it is literally 4% interest cut right off the get-go. That would be extremely aggressive. Extremely aggressive. I mean, I'm surprised that there was even a headline about that. I was expecting like, a 0.5% interest rate, right? 0.5%, maybe 1% max kind of thing. But if we get 400% or anything near over 100 basis points, that is, strap up, get ready to rock and roll, because the market is going to get volatile. The market is going to get volatile. One thing I've been warning everybody in the Crypto Citadel is, before we get into the charts and we start diving into all the different levels and, some of the game plans that we're doing in the Crypto Citadel for potential swing trades, one thing I've been warning everybody in the Crypto Citadel about is the level of volatility that we're about to experience. I definitely think we can have a dump and a pump all are within the same day of these interest rate cuts, right? There is definitely potential to wick down, hit some critical lower levels, pump back up, and continue going up higher, stopping out the longs, stopping out the shorts, and getting everybody wrecked. Because I know, and the market knows, that there's a lot of people right now throughout this weekend coming in today stacking up high leverage longs. Some people are stacking up high leverage shorts, and the price is just flat. Now let's jump right into the price action, right, for Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin's price action throughout the entirety of the New York trading session today. Look at this. Look at this. You got all 15-minute candles. Look at this, just completely flat. We jump out to the 1 hour. Look at this, just flat. Couldn't I get above 115? Couldn't I get below 114.3? Just completely flat. Now we're getting this doji candle here on the 1 hour, right? This Darth Maul doji candle here. Is this going to be signaling a potential reversal? Possibly. Very possible. But once again, more flat price action. A lot of shorts, a lot of longs. Everybody wants to long the bottom, and everybody wants to short the top. And let me tell you, this event on Wednesday could be a massive liquidity event. Now, I do believe overall we are going to pump higher. Later this month into October, I do believe we will pump higher. But I am forewarning everybody. If you're entering these 20x leverages and larger longs or shorts on Bitcoin, right? I'm not even talking about altcoins. I'm just talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you're entering 20x and up at this point in time, and you are not a profitable long-term trader with many years of experience, I'm telling you, you're going to get stopped out. I'm telling you, you're going to get liquidated. This is not the time to be going high leverage. This is the time to bring the leverage down. I'm talking about Bitcoin specifically only here. Altcoins, I wouldn't even be touching with high leverage at all, ever. But I would be bringing that bad boy down to 10, 12x max. 12x max, 10x and below on Bitcoin, and try to catch a wave. Try to catch a wave based on your technical analysis on which direction you think you are. You are more likely to be able to survive the volatility on Wednesday. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and we get flat price action. Crickets. The price doesn't even move, but I don't think it'll be that. I don't think it's going to be one of those flat days. Gold is already skyrocketing again, once again today, hitting another new all-time high. And that's when Bitcoin started to move on up here as well today. Back up to 115.5, getting rejected. This is the weekly open. This is the quarterly VWAP. This is the weekly VWAP. Very critical area to stay above. But honestly, I am looking for this 114. 114.1 is definitely an area to 113.8. Definitely an area that I am looking for to enter a low leverage long. To enter a low leverage long. Maybe I missed it. Maybe we just keep skyrocketing from here. Maybe. But there's a long time between now and Wednesday at 1 o'clock or 2 p.m. Eastern when they actually announce the interest rate cut. So lots of things happening here. This is the week to be paying attention, guys. If you're not paying attention, this is not the time to be snoozing on your investments. This is not the time to be snoozing on your analysis, on your trades. This is the time to be 100% committed and paying attention to these markets. Let me quickly jump here into the chat, say hello to some people before we continue going on. What's going on, Victoria? What's going on? I see a bunch of people here from Instagram. Appreciate all of you guys. What's up? What's up? What's going on over here? I see some of you guys smashing those likes over here on the TikTok. Appreciate it. Appreciate all those TikTok likes coming in. Send it, send it, send it. Appreciate everybody over here on the YouTube as well. Thank you so much for smashing those likes. Continue the good work, guys. Continue the good work. Let's see. Let's start reading some chat here. They won't cut that much. That would tank the market. I agree. I think a 400% interest rate cut would be extremely aggressive. Inflation would definitely be pretty rampant pretty quickly soon after that, right? And people are going to be freaking out about it. And that could be the thing that tanks the market first before it pumps up, because gold's already starting to skyrocket. Justin says Bitcoin is falling because the debt. I can't say that. I think. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Brother, in which world are we getting anything more than a 0.25 basis points decrease? Hopium. Oh, I'm not saying that we are. I'm saying the headlines are saying that. I can show you guys the headlines right here. You guys don't need to take my word for it. Headline right here, just from earlier today, earlier this morning. Where is it? Right here. Coin Telegraph. Update. CME Fed Watch puts 94.2% odds on a 400 to 425 BPS Fed rate at the 4. I think they own most of it. Nah, Justin, I don't think so. I think obviously there will be some that own it, but I honestly think that the grand majority of them do not. We've seen that Bitcoin has been the thing that, the right has been running on is Bitcoin, financial freedom, independent money, all this stuff, decentralization, right? So I definitely don't believe that the grand majority of the left is in any kind of way, shape, or form holding the most Bitcoin at all. They could definitely have big players that are holding large amounts of Bitcoin, but I do not believe that they are the biggest holders of Bitcoin. Let's see here. what do you really think where Bitcoin will go? So, all right, let's go back to the Bitcoin chart here. So overall, guys, all right, today's been a lot of chop. Nothing new here. We came all the way up to the previous week high throughout the Asia and London trading session. We swept that area, which is usually a reversal signal, something to go into a short for, and with good reason. It dropped from 116.6 all the way down to 114.4, 114.390. Fantastic short if anybody was awake to be able to take this during the Asia or London trading session, right? Obviously, I was sleeping, but this was a fantastic short. Then we spent the majority of the New York trading session trading below 115 and above 114.4. Not much price action at all from Bitcoin or Ethereum, or a few of them here and there had some rallies. So not a lot happening. But if we zoom out here to the 4 hour, right? You guys know we've been in a major rally. We've been talking about this rally since we came down to 107, 200, 250, whatever it was, back on September 1st. We bottomed out there, and we have been skyrocketing ever since, slow and steady. Last week's main target to the upside was 115, which we officially hit throughout the weekend and closing out the week last week. We got above 115, came all the way up to 116.6 twice, double top, swept it. Now we've pulled back down. That being said, our next set of targets to the upside, if we can flip this 115-ish area, 117 area, right? Stay above this red line, this quarterly VWAP, which is coming to an end at the end of September. If we can stay above this area, our next set of targets are between 117.7 to 120 to the upside. Those are our next big set of targets. Obviously, this could be fueled by the interest rate cut to have a big move to the upside, a rampant, aggressive move to the upside, which means we're going to have to make it critical whether we hold 120 and go for new all-time highs, or we get rejected and start dropping lower. If we get rejected here at 116, 117, and do not go higher first, right? Targets to the downside that I'm looking for, 114 to 113.8. Below that, I'd be interested again back around the 111 to 110. If 110 is lost, buckle up. We're coming back for this 105 to 104 area. I do not believe that this anchored VWAP here around the 107 is going to save us a second time. So if we drop below 110, 105 to 104, maybe 103 is the next big area to the downside for Bitcoin. But like I said, I am bullish in the long term. I do believe that overall we are headed into a bullish quarter four, right? September right now, we're up 6.27% on September. September is usually a very bearish month. The last two Septembers have been bullish. 2023, bullish. 2024, bullish. Both were followed by bullish Octobers and Novembers. Are we about to repeat that again? The data says that the chances are likely, for the simple fact that quarter four for Bitcoin since 2013 has an average of around 85% to the upside and a median of 52% to the upside during quarter four. So the odds are looking pretty good. The odds are looking pretty good, but that does not mean it is time to take our eyes off the ball here. It does not mean that we just get to sit back and altcoin season's coming. Guys, every altcoin season has been very different, and you need to be very aggressive on these altcoin seasons. Altcoins are moving, and they're not all moving at the same time. Yes, Bitcoin dominance still has targets to the downside below 58%, going down to as low as 42%. But that does not mean that you just get to sit on your altcoins and all your altcoins are going to make new all-time highs. All altcoins will not make new all-time highs. And different altcoins are going to top out at different points in time during this altcoin season. It is not the time to be piling into altcoins. It is the time to start getting ready to start stepping out of altcoins, to start dollar cost averaging our way out of our positions. But to be able to do that, we must have targets. We must have game plans. We must have strategies. If we do not, and you're just going to blindly wait to get on somebody's live stream and somebody's going to tell you, now's the time to sell, guys, you're not going to see it. 98% of everything online is all about giving you what you want to hear so that you stay around longer, so that you continue smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, and liking all their videos and subscribing to them, because they feed you what you want to hear, which what makes you feel good inside, what gives you hope, all this stuff. And I don't do that. I'm not here to give you hope. I'm not here to feed your feelings and make you feel better. I'm here to give you data. I'm here to give you probabilities. I'm here to analyze data and tell you what I think I'm doing, right? And you can follow along. You can join the Crypto Citadel if you want the in-depth game plans that we go through every Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. when we do our live trading sessions. You can do that if you want to. But I'm most likely going to tell you, joining somebody's live streams during an altcoin season, you're never going to hear people talking about taking profits. You're always going to hear about it's going higher, it's going to 10x, it's going to 500x, we're going to make so much money, we're all going to make it. Oh, it just broke through here, tomorrow it's going to be even higher. Buy more, buy now, because this thing is going to change the world. This thing is going to, forever take the world. This is a 5-year hold, guys. This is a 5-year hold, and you're literally buying a top. You're buying a top, and they're telling you to hold it for 5 years. And it makes no sense. And it's all based off feelings and hopium, and it's all a bunch of fugazi. All right, long rant over there. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me here. Let's go back here into the chat, see if I'm missing anybody. Hi, how are you? How do you think ETH is doing in the upcoming days? Guys, ETH and all the altcoins are going to follow Bitcoin. ETH has been completely flat all day today. Why? Because Bitcoin's been flat all day. Bitcoin has no clear, decisive direction. Bitcoin dominance has remained flat, a little increasing today, but nothing by less than 0.5%. No big deal. Pretty much flat. Altcoins have been flat. Ethereum's been flat. So no surprise here. Now, overall, to the downside, right? Things that we need to be aware of here for Ethereum. We have entered the previous week range. We are within the previous week range here for Ethereum. So, that being said, targets to the downside. First set of targets are down to 44.26 to 44.15, meeting with our monthly VWAP. If that set of targets are between 43.29 to 42.72 to the downside. There's no guarantee that we will go down there, but we are within the previous week range. And meanwhile, we stay in here. The longer we stay in here, the bigger the chance that we rotate this range to the downside. So something to be aware of. Potential targets, potential entries to get in on some low leverage swings to back to the upside. I do believe we're going to be making a new all-time high. I've been telling you guys that I believe Bitcoin will still make a new all-time high before the end of this year. Is it going to be late September after the interest rate cut, or is it going to be into middle of October? We don't know just yet. I don't have a crystal ball. But nonetheless, this interest rate cut is going to be the fuel for the next catalyst event, which might take some time to play out, or we're going to get some wild volatility. We will see. But nonetheless, I do believe we will go higher in the long term here. Now, let's go over to XRP. Nisam says, XRP forecast in the short term, please. On the short term, XRP has already come down, hit our weekly MPLC. We haven't done much today. Got rejected off the weekly open here multiple times today. We are within the previous week range. The previous week range value area low is down by where is that? 293, give or take. Let's see, where is my VWAPs? Here we go. Yeah, monthly VWAP is down at 293 as well. So that's another area of interest. Below that, we have between 286 to 283 if we continue heading lower, which I don't think we will head that much lower. We could get some, whiplash here and there between now and the interest rate cut. So definitely something to be aware of. But overall, XRP, I'm still targeting 213 to the upside. Once we get above 213, we have larger targets of 366 to as high as 416. Those are the big targets to the upside for XRP here on the larger time frame. Right here. All right, we came up, we hit as high as 318, hit the upper band of this downtrend, and guess what happened? We came back down again. Now we're coming towards meeting this monthly VWAP around 293. If we come down low to 287, an area of interest for sure, hopefully potentially break this downtrend. And once we can break above 335, we're going to be running for 366 to 416 to the upside. Worst case scenario to the downside, targets to the downside are 252 to 233, which I don't foresee happening anytime soon right now, but can never be too safe. Just letting you guys know what's going on here. Somebody wants to know about Dogecoin. Derek, appreciate you. Let's go see Dogecoin. Make sure everybody's smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe so you guys are notified every time I go live. Dogecoin here has had a very significant move in the last couple of days. Ran all the way up to 30 cents. Guys, ran all the way up to 30 cents. Now we're coming back down we're at 26. What am I looking for at Dogecoin right now? We need to stay above this yearly VWAP, meaning we need to stay above 23 to 24 cents, ideally. We are within an uptrend, right? We kind of segued out a little bit here at the beginning of September. We have reclaimed this uptrend. We got rejected off the heart line. Now we're pulling back. We can pull back down to as low as 24.5 cents, give or take. Still hold this monthly VWAP. Still hold above this monthly point of control for July of 24.241. Staying above that and staying above this yearly VWAP, very, very critical. We will potentially rebound off this lower band of the uptrend and continue our way to the upside. Targets to the upside for Dogecoin that are very important to pay attention to: 32 cents to 39 cents. 32 to 39 cents, hypercritical area. I will be taking profits around this area. Now, once we can start flipping that area, we have a legacy target from 2021 up at 52, basically 53 cents that we have not met yet. We have not hit it in the great rallies of 2024. We came up as high as 48 cents in January, missed that 53 cents by 4 or 5 cents. And since then, we dropped back down again. So it's one of those, can we reclaim the 2025 local highs and run for that 2021 legacy target? But overall, between 32 to 39, we have a lot of targets. We have a gold pocket. We've got monthly MPOCs. We got monthly averages. We've got all types of fibs, all located around this 32 to 39 cent area, which is very, very important to know as an area of interest that will be acting as resistance. So I do plan on taking some profits off the table at that point in time. Let's go take a look at Render. Somebody wants to go take a look at Render. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes and hitting that subscribe. I am the blockchain crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day. So over here for Render, Render's been very, very flat all of 2025, right? Since back in January when we fell below this $5 mark, Render has just been completely sideways and remains to be sideways. The only time I'm going to be getting bullish on Render is if we start to get above this yearly VWAP, this orange line of 4. It's currently sitting around $4.40. We got above it in May, lost it multiple times, twice. Got above it briefly in July, lost it, fell back down. We have been creating lower highs since May. We need to get above this yearly VWAP and make a run above 557 to start breaking this downtrend of lower highs to potentially make a run for some bigger targets here throughout the year of 2025. So targets above 557, right, would be 673 to as high as 861 to the upside. Then we obviously have some local highs around $11.57 to the all-time high of $13.83, which at this point I'm not even thinking about. I'm just thinking about hopefully we can get to 557. Be super gracious if we can get up to 861 for Render with how flat Render has been. Now, if Render does not get above this yearly VWAP and does not get above 557, we're going to continue ranging sideways here, potentially dropping back down lower to the 241 when everything begins to top out. Render has been struggling very hard throughout this entire year to run. So I do believe it's a matter of time that it does have a run and it could hit some of these big targets to the upside, kind of how we saw with XLM and some of these other legacy coins from back in 2021 having major rally in November of 2024. I think Render is packing up all this sideways consolidation of 2025 for one big run to the upside. Let's continue jumping here into the chat. I see Solana, I see World Liberty Finance, I see SUI. We're going to be covering all of those. Let's see here. Somebody had another question about XRP. You don't think XRP will break $5 this cycle? I do believe that a $5 to $6 XRP is possible. it is possible. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee. I'm not saying that we're definitely going there. I'm just saying right now, 366 to 416, if the cycle is going to end by the end of this year, right? If the cycle is going to end, I think a move from where XRP is at right now of $3 up to 416 is a significant move. I mean, the lawsuit's already been pretty much dropped and they only got up to 366. What else is going to take XRP that much higher? The ETFs? Okay, let's take it up to 416. Run it up to 416. Maybe it overextends to the $5 territory. But people are calling for a $10 to a $100 XRP, which I'm telling you is a bunch of fugazi. Maybe we'll hit $10 in 2028 in the next big altcoin top and Bitcoin hits like 300K plus kind of scenario. But I'm telling you, this cycle, this moment in time, there's nothing that's going to take XRP to $10. It just ain't going to happen. Let's see here. Thoughts on ADA. ADA been holding up pretty well overall. Oops, did not mean to do that. Wrong ADA chart. Appreciate the subscribe, RTD2. Let's go. All right, so ADA here overall doing some, quick and dirty analysis. Things that I'm looking for ADA, right? We are looking for a swing trade for ADA in the crypto citadel. Entry was around 84 cents. We came up as high as 95 cents throughout the weekend. So it's been working out so far where that trade is in the profit. It's come all the way back down towards 86. Can still come back down to 81, even potentially down to 79 cents, which is fine. No big deal there. But if we're going to have another altcoin season, if we're going to have another big rally to the upside, targets that I'm looking for ADA, big targets are 120 to 150, above 150, up to 178, maybe 215-ish at most. That's being ultra gracious for ADA. So realistically, 120 to 150 at most, and then anything above that would be extremely bullish cycle momentum for Cardano by the end of this year. That's what I'm looking for Cardano. Let's go take a look at SUI. SUI. Let's see, where's SUI at? Oh, man, tired. Been a long day. G, hitting that subscribe. Let's go. All right, so right now, SUI. A little bit of a downtrend, right, within this overall uptrend that we're in since April. Since April, we've been in a very nice uptrend for SUI. We have been making lower highs since July. We topped out around $4.42. Then we made a lower high in August of $4.17. And now we've made a lower high currently around $3.87. We can still drop down to as low as $2.92 and still be bullish for SUI. We'll cover gold in just a second, G. We can drop all the way down to $2.92 and still be bullish, still stay within this uptrend for SUI. Bounce off that area. Realistically, I don't want us to go down to $2.92. I want us to stay above this yearly VWAP here of $3.36. Bounce off of that. And our next target to the upside that we've been tracking for months now is $4.81 to the upside. Above that, we'll run for new all-time high, for the all-time high of $5.30 something, and potentially price discovery for new all-time highs. But $4.81 is definitely going to be a big target for me to take some profits. So that's SUI, that's ADA. Which one else? We covered Doge already. Let's go take a look in at Solana. Solana here has come up and hit our target. We were looking for a target of 235 to 247. We hit both those targets over the weekend, and now we're pulling back down to, we're currently back down as low as 230 to 233. We can come all the way back down to 220, 219 again, retest this upper band of this the upper band of this uptrend, come back down to this weekly point of control down at 215, and still be bullish for Solana to continue making a move. Our next target to the upside is 295. 295 is our next big target to the upside for Solana, and that is the previous all-time high, right? Above that, $300+, very easy for Solana. I think by the end of this year, with the way it's been breaking out so far, if we do have another all-time high for Bitcoin, I do see Solana $300+ by the end of this year very easily. Let's go take a look at gold. Gonna be taking a look here at PAX gold USDT. Zoom out here on the daily. We've already hit these targets. Gold just been on the up and up. Nothing but to the upside here for gold, let me tell you. So clearly since April all the way through August, we've been in an uptrend here for gold. Now gold is just obviously just made a new all-time high of 36.85, and you're like wondering, whoa, how much higher can it possibly go? So if we get this fib extension here to this bottom, next big targets here for gold to the upside, if we continue rallying, is going to be 37.59 at the 382, and then the gold pocket to the upside would be around 38.61 for gold if we continue rocketing to the upside from this low to this current high, back down to this low here. That is the big move to the upside for gold so far. Now, if we retrace, if we have any significant retracement, right, we have the monthly VWAP down at 35.93. Below that, we have the upper band of this uptrend that we broke out of around 35.44. And then worst case scenario, if we retrace significantly, we'll be back down to the heart line of this downtrend where we meet the quarterly VWAP down at 34.30, which overall is a pullback from where we are right now to this monthly is a 2%, 2.2, to this upper band 3.75, down to this heart line is a 6.9, basically 7% pullback overall. Pretty significant pullback for gold, which I don't really see happening anytime soon, especially once we get those interest rate cuts. Ethereum here, Bitcoin trying to make a move. Let's keep on reading here through the chat. When is the bull run peak? Guys, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows, but I have shared some exclusive analysis on when I think the top could potentially be coming, when a very significant moment could be happening in the Crypto Citadel. That was pointed out to me by another creator as well. Shout out to him, CVO. So something I'm looking forward to that has been already shared with the Crypto Citadel. I'm not going to share that publicly just yet, but obviously, if you want that, you can join the Crypto Citadel, something I've been covering recently quite a lot, because we are game planning for the end of this cycle here. Please, what is the current market direction? Well, Bitcoin right now overall is on the up, right? We bottomed out around the 107. We have continued to push up higher and higher. We hit our target to 115. We are at a very critical area now here with the interest rate cut coming this Wednesday. Sorry, couldn't speak there for a second. This Wednesday, this is a make it or break it moment, right? If we flip 115 into support, we could be sending it up to 117 to 120, and then above that, we have new all-time highs for Bitcoin before the end of this year, somewhere in October to potentially worst case scenario, the latest November, meaning altcoin season, yada yada yada, all this stuff. Has Bitcoin lost dominance? It's still below 60%. It hasn't lost any more dominance in any recent time, right? It hasn't dropped any more significant price drops or anything like that. We have been on the way down since back in June. We topped out around 66%. We have been dropping lower, making lower highs. We came down as to low as 57.17 earlier today. On Saturday on the 13th. Now we've bounced back up to 58.36. We still have some targets down here at 54%, and we have some targets below that as well. So as we see Bitcoin dominance continue to slide to the downside, we will continue to see altcoins rallying. Dogecoin, I already covered Dogecoin. I already covered XRP. I'll circle back to those in a little bit. Let me hit some new ones here that other people are asking. People want to hear about BitTensor Tau. one of my long-term AI coins that I've been holding here. So BitTensor Tau overall, we are looking for a swing trade. We have been, looking at some swing trades here for the Crypto Citadel. Some things that we're looking at right here, right? One of them is BitTensor Tau. Targets so far, we have been topping out around 480 to 444 multiple times. We're currently sitting at 341. $304 has been a very strong area of support. If we lose this monthly VWAP of 336, that would be the next area I'd be looking for potentially dollar cost averaging on the swing trade or getting an entry if you haven't had one yet for BitTensor Tau. Once we can flip this yearly VWAP of 361 to the upside, flip it into support, targets to the upside are between 414 to 480 for critical resistance. Once we can flip 480, our targets to the upside are between 545 to 617 to the upside for BitTensor Tau. BitTensor Tau also has been in a nice slight uptrend since the April timeframe up to now. So coming down to $304, we are still within this uptrend, hitting the lower band before potentially bouncing back up and breaking these lower highs that we're currently in from May. AVAX, let's go take a look at AVAX. AVAX here, very bullish, right? Broke out above this 2636 resistance that we were facing since May. We got rejected in May. We got rejected in July multiple times. We got rejected in August. And now we finally broken through it. We're fighting through the resistance block between $28 to $30. Once we can flip $30 into support and start holding $30 as support, targets to the upside are between 36 to 41. Above that, we have $51 to $54 for AVAX. Above $51 to $54, we have legacy targets between $71 to as high as $147, which is AVAX's previous all-time high. Southwest says, watch out for toads. It's all about Solana. Interesting. Interesante. Which coin should I buy to get 3x to 10x? Man, a 3 to 10x this late in the game. Talk about calling for a Hail Mary. What I'm talking about, you see, most people are coming in right now looking for that altcoin season because a lot of little headlines have been coming out with the little altcoin Bitcoin season thing. We see it here in CoinMarketCap as well. Where is it? Let's jump on over to CoinMarketCap. I can show you what I'm talking about. This right here. This right here. A lot of people are looking at this altcoin season, Bitcoin season thing, and right now everything is pointing at altcoin season. We're 70%, right? Or we're 70 out of 100 in altcoin season, and people are starting to get very, very bullish. But trust me, guys, this is late into the game. If you have not been buying altcoins, now is not the time to be buying altcoins. Now is the time to be game planning on how to get out of your altcoins. Looking for a 10x at this point in time, you are going for a Hail Mary, very low cap, 100 mil less, and you're playing, you're risking it all for the biscuits. You're completely gambling at that point in time because right now we are coming towards a local top here. We are most likely going to be running it up for Bitcoin, potentially hitting a new all-time high before the year's over, and then it's going to be game over for a while. So be very careful, guys. I'm not looking for any 10Xs. If you're looking for a 10X, you better be talking about a low leverage trade, right? But on spot, a 10X on spot, not going to be happening. 3X, maybe here and there, a few of them. But even then, like I said, last time I bought altcoins was at the end of March, beginning of April of 2025, when altcoins were down 90%. That's when I was buying. I haven't been buying. Since then, we've been climbing slowly up and higher and higher and higher and have not revisited those lows. So I do not plan on buying anymore. I plan on selling and taking profits on the way up. It's very late. Dangerous game now. 100% agree, Southwest. If you're looking for 3Xs, you better be doing a 3X leverage long on some altcoins if that's what you're looking for, 3X. We haven't even started yet, my guy. This is my third run. Never doubt the bull market. Crypto Z, this is also my third bull run. I've been here since 2017. I've seen it all. Let me tell you, my guy, everyone with these altcoin seasons now just been overly bullish on altcoin seasons, and the altcoin seasons are not like 2021. They're short periods of time when things rally a significant amount and then it's over, right? We do not have altcoin. We don't have 2021 altcoin seasons when altcoins are just higher and higher, new all-time high, new all-time high, new all-time high. A grand majority of legacy coins from 2021 have not made new all-time highs and will not make new all-time highs. A lot of altcoins from 2024 that were extremely bullish, Render included, topped out on March of 2024 and have not made another new all-time high since then, right? No matter how many altcoin seasons and rallies we've had since then, we have not made a new altcoin, a new all-time high for Render. We have not made new all-time highs for a lot of altcoins that had major rallies in 2024. So don't get overly bullish and think that we're going to have 2021 altcoin style runs and we're just going to, all the altcoins are going to make new all-time highs, right? Everybody says money goes from Bitcoin into Ethereum and then from Ethereum into all the altcoins. And then everybody makes all this money on altcoins and then it recycles back to Bitcoin. Guys, it's not that simple anymore. These guys who really think institutions are going to buy alt and hold are in a dream world. You're just the exit liquidity. I agree with that, Southwest. I agree with you on that. Altcoins, if your altcoins don't have an ETF attached to it, I wouldn't be touching it with a 10-foot pole, right? People are talking about holding some of these altcoins for the next 5-10 years. I'm like, you're wild. You're wild because you're obviously new here, because that just doesn't make any sense. Plenty of coins from 2021 that were extremely bullish haven't made any highs. And plenty of them that are super bullish right now will not make highs in this last all season. And they won't make new highs in the next altcoin bull market rally. Why? Because a lot of these coins have an extreme level of inflation that nobody is paying attention to, and that it's just being inflated. And if they're not being diluted, right, by this inflation rate of coins coming into circulation, they just don't have the capital. They don't have the marketing. Nobody has the interest or the technology. No technology is actually behind it, right? A lot of it, it's vaporware. And some of the things that do have great technology never catch on and they just get left behind. So, yeah, if, Solana and some of these pick up some ETFs along the way, they're still going to potentially make some new lows. Then I'll be interested in potentially holding them for a little bit longer, getting some entry positions in them. But nonetheless, by the end of this year, I'm going to be out 95% of my positions. 95% of my positions are I'm going to be out. I'm talking about spot, right? I'm talking about spot. Now, trading, my trading portfolio, I'm still going to be taking longs and I'm still going to be taking shorts. Right now, we're trying to find the top, right? We are preparing ourselves into some low leverage longs to ride this one last final wave to the upside. And once we start topping out, the next phase of the game plan is start entering some low leverage long shorts. You never know when the actual top is, so you got to enter low leverage shorts so you can, even if it continues going up higher, you can dollar cost average, and eventually when it tops out and the bottom falls out and the big dump happens, you start to ride that wave back to the downside. And that's what we're doing in the Crypto Citadel. Those are our game plans. Ride this one last wave to the upside. In the meantime, we're taking day trades and we're taking swing trades for the long run, and then we're looking for those long-term shorts. They won't even hold top 5 yet, alone the rest, hence the bear market. Oh, I agree. I 100% agree. ETFs are still only holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're not holding XRP. They're not holding Solana. They're not holding AVAX, BitTensor, Tau. They're not holding any of these other things. They're not. They're just not. They're not holding BNB. They're not holding any of that. When is the bull run? Quinn, we're coming to the end of the bull run, my friend. If we've been in a bull run for a long time. Quick and easy chart here to look at for this is this Bitcoin chart right here. Let me pull it up for you guys. Just look at the Binance chart here. So overall, ignore some of these scribbles here. Turn off some of this VWAP stuff. Look how simple it is, guys. Zooming out here, this is the daily. All right, let's zoom out to the weekly so we can see this even better. This is the chart, right, since 2022. This is 2022. This was the bottom. This was the total bottom. November 21st, 2022 was the bottom. It was $15,989. Since then, we've been rallying. We spent all of 2022 running back to the upside, or whatever was left of 2022. Then we jumped into 23. We rallied from 23,000 in 2023 all the way to the end of 23. We ended around 47,000. 2024 came. We continued to rally, and we closed out 2024 around 109 to 110,000. We dropped in Q1 of 2025, and now we've continued to rally back up again. We've made a high of 124.5. So we have been in a bull market. We have been in a bull market since November 21st of 2022. We have been in a bull market for the last 3 years. We have been pumping. We have been pumping for the last 2 years, right? 2023 all the way to 2025. We have been making nothing but all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. This isn't going to happen forever. At some point, we're going to go into a bear market, right? Q1 of 2025 could have been considered a bear market. We topped out around the 109, and we dropped a significant amount from 109 to the bottom in April of 74,000. We dropped 31.94%. 31.94%. Usually, Bitcoin drops 40, 50, 60%. But with the ETF institutional demand, I think that has changed. And I think Bitcoin's going to do a lot more sideways and down consolidations with more shallow retracements like these 31 to maybe 40% retracements, right? Maybe it takes a quarter, 2 quarters, maybe a full 3 quarters, right? Almost an entire year. 1 year is 4 quarters, maybe a whole 3 quarters, right? Of just sideways and down with some small rallies along the way. But overall, pulling back 30 to 40%. I think the days of those 60% pullbacks plus for Bitcoin are over because of the institutional demand. I can't wait for the 2026 bear. I'll be buying when everyone else is running. That is why crypto is so misleading, because people don't get it. 100% agree, man. 100% agree. Let's keep going through the chat here. Well, when everything is going down bad, it's a great chance for the newbies. Yes, it is a great time for the newbies, but when everything is down bad, the newbies don't want to buy. Q1 of 2025, prime example. How many new people FOMO'd in November, December time of 2024 when things were up 500, 700%, right? XLM pumped 700% in 30 days. How many newbies jumped in at that time? They were all buying the FOMO. And then when the bear market Q1 came and Bitcoin dropped 31% and altcoins dropped 90+%, how many newbies were buying the dip then? They weren't. They were panicking. They were panic selling. They were selling at losses by the end of March and April, right? Because they buy the dip, and then they buy another dip, and then they buy another dip, and then it dips again, and they buy another dip, and then they buy the dippity dip, and then the dip. They run out of capital in less than 30 days buying all these dips. Why? Because they're not analyzing data. They're not watching charts, right? They're just going based off feelings, and they're going based off what creators are saying online about buy the dip. I bought the dip, guys. I bought the dip. Anybody can tweet out, I bought the dip, without actually ever spending $1 on the dip. But they're just engagement farming. They're telling you what you want to hear, so you engage with their posts because they're content creators, right? And they have no basis on whether they actually are buying the dip or not, and doesn't really matter to them. And that's why newbies get wrecked, because instead of analyzing data like we do in the Crypto Citadel, They just go based off people's random tweets, random headlines, and random videos of people saying they bought the dip and this is the final dip, when they don't know that. Even when you analyze data, you don't know when the final dip is, right? Most people weren't even aware of 107 being the bottom. People were still talking about going lower and lower and lower and lower. And the same thing happens when we're going to the highs. Everybody says we're going higher, 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 higher when you're at the highs, and everybody says we're going lower, 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 lower when we're at the lows. So this is why you can't go based off content creators. You got to go based off data. And that's what I try to teach everybody in the Crypto Citadel, what to do and how to game plan, how to properly use risk management, because there is nothing better to do than, manage your risk and be a smart investor, a smart trader. Whether you're using leverage or not, doesn't matter. Even if you're a spot holder, buying and selling, that is still trading. One treasury company back then compared to how many now? Yeah, what about it? How often do you go live? I go live almost every single day, Monday through Friday. Let's go back here. Oh, there's the Bitcoin dominance. No. Biddy. Getting rejected off that 115.5. Lost the weekly open. We're going down. The biggest thing most people don't learn about it, they just fly blind, follow the news, and it's going up and wonder why they get wrecked. 100%, man. 100%. I started to make the most money ever in crypto when I stopped watching other people's content. Now, I stopped watching people's content a long time ago when I became a content creator for the most part. But when I stopped listening to all the crazy theories that everybody has and that you see on Twitter, and you see all these fractals, and you see this, and we're going to go to 300 and we're going to go here, and XRP is going to do this. And I have the black book and I have the red folder, and I have all this. Everybody has all this exclusive information that nobody else has, right? When I stopped listening to all of that and I just started looking at the charts myself, right? And I started learning how to chart and how to read data and looking at targets and looking at retracements and looking at being oversold and being overbought and resistance and support, and just looking at this with my own two eyes, my own brain, and analyzing this for myself. That's when I started making the most money ever in crypto. That's when it wasn't. No other content creator out there gave me the alpha, and I've been listening to this guy, and this guy has made me all this money. Even listening to me, you're not going to make all this money. Why? Because by the time I analyze the data, I post it to the Crypto Citadel. We take our trades, we take our positions, we do what we need to do. And then I make content about it at some point down the line about it, whether it's a day, 2 days, couple of hours, maybe a week later. By the time I make content about it, it's too late. It's not actionable for you. Now, sometimes I post some videos that are very actionable very early on for very short time frame stuff, right? For a 15-minute time frame, day trades kind of stuff, right? To give you guys a little bit, some crumbs, right? Give you guys some crumbs on what we do in the Crypto Citadel. But by the time you watch it, I upload the video now, but you might not watch this video till 3 to 4 or 5 hours later, and the trade already happened. You missed it, right? So even then, you're still out of date. The only way to stay up to date is by being in the Crypto Citadel and getting all this data live, right? That's the only way you can see it. What can we expect from SUI this fall? Like I said, Nicole, I'm looking for 481. 481 is the big target for SUI. Same here. I've been in since 2020. I made my mistakes like everyone, but now I ladder out, take profits. I'm in the UK and we can only trade spot here, so everything is long, but it's enough. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you're making the best out of it and that you've learned your lessons. You're taking your profits. You're not letting greed get to you. You're using proper risk management, and you're making money. So, round of applause for you, brother. Round of applause for you. All right. If Pengu don't 10x, I have to work until until forever. Oh man, you're all in on Pengu, huh? I'm in on Pengu too, man. I'm bullish on Pengu. Let's go take a look at Pengu here. We're going to circle around to some altcoins here now. We're going to look at Pengu. We're going to look at Doge. We'll look at XRP again. So Pengu here, overall, big rally, topped out around 0.046. We've come all the way down to as low as 0.027, and now we're sitting around 0.033. I do believe we're going to push to the upside. I do see targets of 0.052 and potentially, obviously, price discovery up higher. So that is what I'm looking for. But you have to be low leverage on this thing, bro. You have to be low leverage spot or literally 2 to 3x on this thing. Anything higher than that, you need to have way more trading experience, and that you're going to get wrecked. So be very careful here with Pengu. Now, going back to XRP, people have been asking. Quick overall XRP here is very simple. We're still in this downtrend, right? For XRP, we hit the upper part of the upper band here, got rejected once again, pulling back down. Once we can break out of this, we need to get above 335, break market structure, run for 366, and above 366, our target is 416. Ay, coño. Now, to the downside, once XRP does break to the downside, we do have some targets here between 252 to 233 to the downside for XRP as well. So be careful with that. DCA is not always to buy at all prices. There has to be some levels to look after. 100% agree. If you just blindly dollar cost average forever, you're going to get wrecked. Unless you're buying Bitcoin for the very, very long term. The growth mindset says, I am getting into crypto just now. What should I do? What's the best coins before the interest rate cut? Guys, there is no such thing as the best coin. There is no such thing as, what to buy. It all depends on your entry. You're coming into a point in time where we've already had a major bottom down at 107. All coins have rallied. Bitcoin has rallied. Now we're here entering at a local top. Interest rate cuts could potentially dump the market down. And if you're entering now, you're going to have to dollar cost average to the downside, right? If you're buying spot for the long term. You're also going to be aware that we're entering the end of the year here, quarter 4. We could have one final blow off top. And if you're not if you're buying in now, you need to be aggressive on getting out on that next big rally. But most of the time, people that are freshly getting in, right, they don't have a lot of experience, so they see something pump 100% or something like that, and they're like, man, I'm going to hold this for a few more weeks, a few more months. I just got in and we just pumped 100%. I'm going to get rich in the next 3 months. And you're actually just came in right before the big top, and you actually probably even make the mistake of buying some more on the way up, and then you get caught at the top like most people did in November and December of 2024, and then they had to write everything down 90%. Don't be that guy. So right now, I wouldn't be advising new people to get in. Right now, I'd be advising people that are new to start educating themselves on what is Bitcoin, what is Ethereum, what are all these different altcoins, how is the altcoin seasons, what is an altcoin season, how do they work, why are they so different from back in 2021, why do certain companies or institutions have ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they don't have ETFs for all these other altcoins, why are there companies that are creating Ethereum treasuries, but they're not creating treasuries for Solana or these other altcoins. There's a lot to unpack there and learn. And the best way to handle being new is to just take your time and learn. It's okay to miss out. It's okay to miss the rallies. Don't FOMO. Do not FOMO. Number one mistake of new people coming into crypto is always FOMOing. FOMO gets you wrecked every single time. Going back to Dogecoin here, circling back to good old Dogecoin. So Dogecoin's had a major rally here in the last couple of days from 21 cents. We rallied all the way to 30 cents. We've hit the heart line of the uptrend that we've reclaimed here, gotten rejected. We could come back down to as low as 24 cents, which is perfectly fine. Let me turn my VWAPs on. Monthly VWAP and lower band of this uptrend around 25 to basically 24 cents, staying above this yearly VWAP orange line right here is very critical for Dogecoin to continue rallying to the upside. targets to the upside overall between 32 to 39 cents are the big targets to the upside to take some strong profits on Doge. You might not like to hear that if you're brand new and want to get in at 26. Not a lot of room for a lot of profit, but profit nonetheless, right? A win's a win. So if you get in right now, run up to about 35 cents, a 35% pump, 35% pump. Not retirement rich, wife changing money or anything like that, but it is the critical levels. Now, can we go higher? Absolutely. We do have a legacy target of 52 cents, but that's, that's moonbag territory. Derek, yeah, it happened to me. What are your favorite alts? Oh, I have a lot of favorite alts, but I've bought all my favorite alts down when they were down 90% in March and April of 2025, right? So BitTensor Tau, Pendle, Ethereum. When Ethereum was less than $2,000, I was buying Ethereum. Wouldn't be buying Ethereum now. Like I said, AVAX, BitTensor Tau, Pendle, Lido. Let's see here. Obviously, Solana when it was a lot cheaper. Sui a lot cheaper. Let's see what else. Chainlink when it was a lot cheaper. Ondo way below $1. Aerodrome way below $1. Now currently both above $1. ENA well below 50 cents. I think it was down at like 20 to 30 cents. Uniswap below $9. Quant below $100, down at like 80, 70 bucks. Those are just some of my favorites here off the top of my head. Thoughts on ICP? Oh, man. I'm selling all my ICP, man. I can't wait to sell this thing. I'm tired of holding ICP. So, ICP here on the long term, this is one of those legacy coins I've been talking about that is not going to make a new all-time high, has spent the grand majority of its 2025 below the yearly VWAP. We need ICP to break above 631, get above this yearly VWAP, and make a run between $7 to... Yes, Princesa. I love you too. Derek says, blown 2 accounts. Whoa, careful. Blown 2 accounts, but now recovering and learning this at the same time. Good to hear, Derek. Good to hear, brother. That's what the Crypto Citadel is all about. It's about learning. It's about learning proper risk management. It's about learning how to take profits. It's about learning how to be patient, learning actual trading strategies, and, just overall trading psychology. Don't sleep on Caspa. Caspa is the one that's sleeping. Let me tell you, Caspa has been asleep for a long time, and you can thank the miners on that one. Do you think it will get to $6.30, Marco? What will get to $6.30? ICP? I think so. I think it can. There's a chance it can. How much longer do you think XRP will go? Realistically, XRP can rally, obviously, to 366 all the way up to 416. Maybe it reaches all the way up to $6 generously, but not much more than that. Render, I covered Render overall a little while ago, but Render is kind of in an ICP situation where it's just been stuck way down here for a while. It needs to get above this yearly VWAP of 438 and really make a jump above 557 to get bullish. If it can get above 557, it can run between 673 to about 861. That's when I'll be selling all my Render. I don't think Render is going to make a new all-time high. You think the total 3 cup and handle won't break out to 2 trillion? I haven't taken a look at that personally. Anything is possible. Rallies can get extended. We could go higher, but I think we're going to top out soon, have a refresh, bear market type Q1 scenario all over again, and then maybe have another rally later down the line while people are still thinking that we're in the bear market.
Appreciate everybody here smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, guys. I'm Blockchain Crusader. If you like what you're watching, if this is the kind of thing you want to learn, how to actually read data, how to actually jump in and read charts and be able to analyze and be able to make smart decisions, right? Join the Crypto Citadel, my private community, where not only do you get to trade live with me every single day, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., you get my 1-hour trading course, you get my daily trade signals, my live sessions, and so much more. And it's only 10 spots left. Only 10 spots left at $3.30 a day. After these 10 spots are over, it is going to be going up to $149. So make sure that you guys are locking in right now at the current rate, because it will be going higher after these 10 spots are over. And if you're into the lifetime access one-time payment, we have 8 spots left for that. You guys can go check all of that out in the Citadel, in the link down below in the description of the video, in my profiles on my social media. You can go and find access to the Crypto Citadel. I urge you guys to get in now at a lower rate before it goes up higher, because once it goes up higher, everyone that's locked in at their rate will stay locked in at that rate forever. But if you come in at a later rate, I don't want to be hearing people crying that they want discounts, that can I match the previous rate, because they just got in. You guys have time. 10 spots left. Those 10 spots can be gone today, or they can be gone by the end of the week. So if you're interested, take action. That is one thing that you need to know in this market, is you need to be proactive. You need to be taking action every single day. You can't just sit back and be like, that's a tomorrow thing. Oh, tomorrow I'll do it. Oh, tomorrow I'll do it. No, because tomorrow will come and go. You still haven't done it, and you're going to miss out. So guys, like always, I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and I'll see you guys in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.